Human evolution. One of the greatest icons of the greatest icon is that of human evolution. We've been told that the evolutionary steps from ape to human are quite clear. The study of the ape to man evolutionary process is a scientific discipline that has been used to show the evolutionary process of humans. But it has been susceptible to many errors. These include frauds, horrendous science, including lies and junk science, unfounded speculation, and large amounts of imagination. Now, we will look at some of the most important of these ape-man fossils. These are the ones that have had the most influence in the so-called human evolution chart. Well, one of the most notable of all the ape-man examples has been the Nebraska man. During the first part of the 20th century, evolution had not been widely accepted in many of the educational systems in our nation. Well, the Scopes trial, or the monkey trial as it has often been referred to, was the event that would put evolution on the map. During the trial, and it was much more like a public spectacle or a circus, the evolutionist introduced an ape man named the Nebraska man. Now, the creationists argued that they had no opportunity to even examine or do research on this specimen. This ape man had been drawn by looking at just one tooth of the so-called Nebraska man. The creationists objected to the surprise. It was an addition of evidence to the trial. Well, the evolutionists charged that their opponents simply could not accept new so-called scientific evidence that contradicted the creation model. And so the creationists went away defeated in the public's view and in the world's view. Well, after the damage had been done and evolution was generally accepted, or certainly accepted a lot more than it had been, by much of the public, the tooth from Nebraska man was discovered to be nothing more than an extinct pig's tooth. Now, Java man was another one of the so-called ape-man fossils that had been used for decades as a link to convince millions of people of man's ape ancestry. Eugene Dubois discovered some fossils when he traveled to Java, now part of Indonesia, in 1891. His discovery was of a skull cap that appeared to have features of both man and ape. Well, a year later, he discovered a thigh bone 50 feet away. He took the license to combine the two and say that they were from the same creature. Dubois had very little training in geology and was not able to recognize his faulty reasoning and approach. A later expedition revealed that this site was actually quite modern in age. Now, this Java man was used as an example of human evolution for years. Evolutionists eventually ignored this extensive study. Many experts today, as well as in his day, say that Java man is not a missing link, and the bones probably came from two different creatures, both probably human. Now, this Java man was the first of many erectus, that is, standing upright fossils. These fossils are crucial to the so-called ape-to-man process because they need to fill the spaces between the Australopithecine, that is the non-human, and Homo sapiens, which are clearly human. It is evident now that Homo erectus and true humans have existed together. There is no scientific evidence that the two are related in any way to each other. Now, Neanderthals have received some of the greatest attention over the last few decades. They were shown as a creature that was bent over and part ape and part human. Many of them are shown as cavemen and that type of thing. Well, the Neanderthals had an arthritic and or rickets type of condition that caused them to be bent over. This fact was ignored, and the public was told that they were a link to modern humans. They just hadn't learned to walk upright yet. But as previously mentioned in other videos, Neanderthals had a larger cranial capacity, which, according to scientists, implies a higher level of intelligence. Well, this would indicate that we have devolved from Neanderthals, if they were truly our ancestors, instead of us evolving from them. A Piltdown Man was discovered in pieces from 1908 to 1915. It was accepted as a genuine missing link. But it was not until 1953, approximately 4 decades later, that it was discovered that the bones had been planted at that site and had been treated to match the color of the other bones. Some of the fossil pieces were altered so that the ape-like characteristics were combined with human. It took almost 40 years to discover this fraud. But it was used successfully during these years to help convince the public that human evolution from apes was true. Now, if we remove all of these bogus ape men that were just mentioned, then there would have been virtually no good examples of human evolution clear through the mid-1900s. The so-called ape-to-human chart would have been virtually non-existent. Not one ape or monkey has been verified as being a true link to humans whatsoever. Nothing has ever been found that scientifically links humans to apes in any way. It has all been speculation built on an idea, that idea being evolution. Joseph Weiner said it this way: "It is quite obvious that modern man could not have arisen from any ape, let alone a monkey, at all similar to today. It is ridiculous to describe man as a naked or any other kind of ape." Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next video.